Well, here I am at my log pile in Alaska. These are the logs that I cut, peeled, and stacked 2 years ago. So they are thoroughly dry and ready to go. And I'm sure you're all wondering, when am I going to build this thing? Well, because my mom was at the end of her life, last year I couldn't really come and do anything.
The days were peaceful. The nights were not. At around 3 a.m., she was jolted awake by heavy, deliberate footsteps moving through her camp. The sound wasn't hurried. It wasn't scared. Whatever it was moved with weight and confidence. Grabbing her bear spray, she lay frozen, listening as branches snapped nearby.
Last night, I was woken up at about 3 o'clock in the morning to a big commotion, and it was scary. I didn't know what was going on out here, but I grabbed my bear spray and heard something heavy-footed. I thought, oh, it's probably moose, but there was a big noise. And then this morning, I wake up to find this. This is where my shower tent was, and it was down, laying across the trees over here, and it was all shredded. And I thought, well, 60 yards apart. And the shower tent's right there. So I stood this back up so I could kind of recreate what happened here. I think this is the point of impact back here. This is about face level to me.
By morning, the damage was impossible to ignore. Her shower tent, set up roughly 50 yards from where she slept, had been flattened, shredded, and torn apart. Thick fabric was ripped. Bamboo mats were chewed through. Bite marks were visible at face height. This wasn't curiosity. It was force. A bear had entered her camp in the darkness, close enough to reach her shelter.
I think this is the point of impact back here. This is about face level to me. You can see the real light, like, probably came down, probably pushed it down. This is all ripped up. Probably teeth marks here. This is what it looks like from the inside. Can you imagine being in here and that? Hello. No, thank you. That's like Freddy Krueger, just terrifying. So, and then it chewed up, it ripped up this bamboo mat too. It was in there. So there it is.
She reset trail cameras that night and slept with her spray within arm's reach, knowing one thing for certain: the wilderness had already tested her boundaries, and next time, it might not stop at a tent.
Fine. I popped it back out, but the tent itself is gone. I think what I'm going to do tonight is just leave this back up. I mean, chances that it'll be back is probably not a lot, but I'm going to set up my trail cameras tonight around camp and see what happens, but hopefully it won't be back. Nothing else is bothered.
Early morning, around 4:30 a.m., a couple from the channel Life After Kids Journey Unknown were asleep inside their RV at a quiet campground in California when a sound ripped them awake. A child was screaming.
What the heck is that?
What's wait?
Hang on, babe.
Clues to what happened last night.
It's a mystery.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I don't know. That kid was screaming. bloody murder this morning, and I really want to find out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, because it was just like screaming for like
Yeah.
15.
They asked around. No one claimed to have heard anything. The questions lingered. What child screams like that for that long and then vanishes into silence?
minutes and then silence.
Yeah, it was like he was running around screaming, and they hit him with a trank gun, and he's going,
Yeah, it was just boom, done.
and there was no sound after that, none.
So, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We're gonna finish our drinks this morning, and then we're gonna get ready, and then we're all,
Gonna go shopping.
including you, we're gonna head out. All right?
They never got answers. And sometimes the most disturbing encounters aren't what you see, but what you hear and can never explain. How could you not call authorities about that poor child? October 2019. Solo van traveler Carly from the channel Curious Carly spent the night outside Cedar City, Utah, where temperatures dropped to a brutal 14 degrees. Alone in a Walmart parking lot, she worried more about freezing pipes than danger.
I wanted to just say, in case I didn't mention it earlier, that it was 14 degrees last night in Cedar City. 14 degrees was the low last night. Tonight's low is going to be 37 degrees, and I'm close enough to Laverkin. That's what's coming up on my weather. A lot warmer tonight than it was last night. I was really freaked out that everything in my van was going to explode because it got...
By morning, she headed toward Zion National Park, unaware the unease was only beginning. The park was crowded, confusing, and tense. Parking was scarce. Shuttles were packed, and tempers flared as visitors argued in tight spaces. Carly moved through it all alone, constantly relocating her van, constantly surrounded by strangers, yet completely on her own.
A cabin, that's a 5-mile hike, and then the Watchman and the Virgin River. I think this is more on the inside of the park, as well as Angel's Landing. So here we are. Here is the scenic drive that I'll be going down, and there is a 1-mile hike at the end of it. Oh wait, never mind. That's Zion Canyon. So I'm at the Kolob part of the...
As daylight faded, she drove through Zion's narrow tunnels, long echoing corridors carved into solid rock. Inside one tunnel, a truck with a trailer began honking repeatedly, setting off a chain reaction as other vehicles joined in. Headlights flooded the darkness.
I was afraid I was gonna miss them. I don't know what just happened, but going back through that big tunnel again, there was this guy with a trailer and he was honking, and so then other people were honking, and I was like, what is going on? I don't know why you're honking, because it's already a really scary business. So everybody had their headlights on that I could see, and he was just getting into the tunnel, so I don't know, but really freaked me out. So that's fine though. Okay.
The noise bounced off stone walls, trapping her in a moment of panic with nowhere to pull over. Shaken, she pushed on, eventually parking alone on remote BLM land near Highway 9. Cars passed in the distance as night settled in.
Through Springdale and find camping over on the BLM land that I passed by earlier today, and tonight I will fill out the Junior Ranger book so that I can get my badge first thing in the morning. Yay! And then I might do a hike tomorrow in the park, and then I'll be meeting up with some friends. So busy, busy, busy. All right, let's get going.
Did you know if you live in the UK and are between the ages of 50 and 80, you could qualify for up to £10,000 in life cover?
I stopped here at the checker.
Nothing happened. But alone, cold, and far from help, Carly was reminded that fear doesn't always come from what you see. Sometimes it's the quiet realization of how exposed you really are. In the Arizona desert outside Tucson, solo van lifer Alyssa Vanilla parked on remote BLM land, seeking solitude and shade from the relentless heat. At nearly 100 degrees, she found the only tree for miles and settled in, believing she was completely alone.
I've been really excited to go to Quartzsite all year. I'm really excited to spend the winter there. But right now, it's pretty much 100 degrees. In fact, next week it's going to be over 100 degrees every day there. And I'm just testing to see if I can handle it. Currently, I think it's like 96 degrees and I'm parked.
That illusion shattered when a man arrived on an ATV. He claimed he lived nearby and checked on people to make sure they had water. He wasn't a ranger. He carried no water. Still, he lingered, asking questions, explaining too much, watching her closely.
Hi.
You doing okay?
Yes, I am.
I'm just kind of checking, making sure everybody's got enough water and...
Oh, okay. Are you a ranger or?
No, I just live close.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of come out and check, make sure, because I know there's a lot of people that come out here that don't have a lot.
I'm fine right now. I don't know if I'll stay here, but I just wanted to check it out and see. It's pretty hot though.
Do you do this, like, is this what you do for a living? Do you, like, travel around or what?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah?
Yep,
So
gotta
how long
wait.
have you been doing this for?
I've been in the van for like almost a year.
After he left, something felt wrong. Minutes later, he returned with a warning. Another man, he said, was watching her from the mountain above using binoculars.
Hey,
Hi.
so you have a guy
Uh-huh.
on the mountain up there that is watching you with binoculars.
Okay, well, that's unnerving. Well, I guess I won't be staying.
Well, it's not that you can't stay. Just, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The other side of the mountain is safer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's driving a older Dodge pickup, and he told me he comes out here and offers water
Uh-huh.
to people.
Mm-hmm.
But I would stay away from him. He told me he parks up there and looks around to see who might need water, who might need this, who might need that. And I was like, I turned and looked and went, well, her fucking camper is right in the open.
Yeah. So did you catch him watching me, or did he just tell you that he was watching me?
When I pulled up, he had his field glasses up looking this direction, and I was like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody that needs water. So anyway, he's
The story didn't add up. The description he gave of the watcher matched his own behavior, offering water, observing camps, studying people from a distance. As Alyssa packed to leave, the man stayed parked in front of her van, silent, staring, refusing to explain why he was still there.
so you know,
Yeah, it's also just odd that there's not really anybody out here.
get a good description of that truck.
It was a white truck.
It's white and burgundy. Honestly, I'd move to the other side.
So, I mean, I did want to stay because it's nice out here and it's quiet, but if there's somebody watching me, then obviously I don't think I should stay out here at all.
Well, that's fine. That's your choice too.
Yeah.
This is Chef Gabe Kennedy. He's about to put the Our Place titanium cookware to the test.
That's really sucks. It was really nice out here, but well, at least I got to put my laundry away. It's always easier to do housekeeping out in the open rather than in the city somewhere. So just finishing up my laundry and then I'll...
Trusting her instincts, she fled the desert as fast as she could, because sometimes the scariest part of being alone in the wilderness isn't the isolation.
Could away from the desert BLM land. So the guy that I was talking about earlier, the one who stopped to see if I need water, came back.
It's realizing someone else has been watching the whole time. When a man says he's not being creepy without anyone questioning him, then they're probably being creepy. October 2022, the video comes from Quest Out West, a solo female creator living out of her van while traveling through British Columbia. At the time, her vehicle was barely functional, money was tight, and she had been forced to stay parked in unfamiliar urban areas longer than planned.
That isn't going to fall apart on the road. And I just can't solve this one, and I'm trying to understand why. Over the past week or whatever it's been, I've had every obstacle possible, and I overcame every single one of them. My message is that you need to trust yourself that you can figure it out. Because so long as you trust yourself and you persevere, you will figure it out. Even if it's the universe sending you miracles, you will figure it out.
What should have been a quiet night turned unsettling fast. Earlier that day, she'd already been harassed multiple times. Each encounter left her more on edge. By evening, her instincts told her something wasn't right.
Okay, I have a license plate. Do what you gotta do, sir. I will file for harassment because that's exactly what you're doing right now.
Later, while changing clothes inside her van, she pulled back the curtain for just a second and froze. A man was standing outside, close enough to peer directly inside. He wasn't knocking. He wasn't calling out. He was just staring.
Are you interested? It's free food. You never know what's going to be there until you get there.
That's the reason that I found you staring at my van?
No, I was just taking a break. I was looking for blackberries.
You were looking for blackberries. Out of this entire parking lot, you were looking for blackberries right beside my van.
Because I just got here.
And every bush looks like... Okay, well, can you leave then?
Yeah, fine.
I'm actually shaking from this one. This one scared the crap out of me. I was behind the curtain, and just as I opened the curtain to reach for something on the dashboard, I saw him standing outside.
When confronted, the man claimed he was looking for blackberries, but the parking lot was nearly empty, and the bushes near her van didn't resemble blackberry plants at all. She told him to leave.
Van. All of these bushes are the same. So if there was blackberries, they would be any other place. It's very obvious that none of this is a blackberry bush. And if you're thinking he might have mistaken those for blackberries, he would have to be a complete moron because they look absolutely nothing like a blackberry bush.
Shaking, she locked herself inside, realizing how exposed she truly was. Alone, vulnerable, and watched, the encounter confirmed what she already felt. Sometimes the most terrifying moments aren't dramatic chases or loud threats.
Oh no. So annoying. This is happening. I'm trying to edit a video.
They're silent, personal, and far too close for comfort. I don't blame her for being scared. The man was looking for some action.
This is the secret to drain lymphatic fluid fast. Swollen ankles and puffy feet aren't just uncomfortable, they're dangerous warning.
Oklahoma, late night at a remote state park. Solo van lifer known as Lady Boogout parked near a quiet lakeshore, surrounded by pine trees and open land. The wind was strong but comforting, rocking her small camper as she settled in for what was supposed to be a peaceful night.
Gonna be awesome night. I'm here for a couple nights, heading up north again. It's cooler by the lake here. I'm in Oklahoma, and just wanted to show you guys what I get to enjoy for the next couple days.
Then the sirens started. A tornado warning lit up her phone. Just after 1:11 a.m. Outside, the wind dropped into an unnatural stillness. The kind locals know to fear. She realized she was the only vehicle sitting exposed in a wide clearing near the water. No trees, no cover.
So there was a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning issued just a minute ago. And so I am not sure what to do in this situation, actually.
Panicking but focused, she packed her entire camper in minutes, keys already in hand. Other campers fled into the night, their headlights vanishing as the storm closed in. Alone, she drove through the darkness searching for shelter, finally stopping near a concrete bathroom structure, the only solid refuge she could find.
I thought that somebody would come around. The tent campers hightailed it out of here in the motorcycle. And so I am just going to go to a spot that I'm not so open because I'm very much in the open.
Rain slammed the roof as she stayed awake, tracking radar updates and listening for sirens that might come again.
So there's little lights that you see in the distance there. That is the water, which was a beautiful place to be, but I literally was the only thing out in this clearing and it did not feel safe. So I wanted to get to a place where I felt a little more sheltered.
By morning, the danger had passed. She was safe, but shaken.
The tent campers did leave. They're the only ones that I saw leaving. So I guess for me, that is the one thing I feel the most unprepared for, is that change in weather when it is so quick. So if you have any comments or tips about that when you have encountered those situations, it would be very helpful to not only me, but others who view this and browse the comments. I
I cannot imagine sleeping out in the woods and being woken by that siren. Just hearing it through the screen had my heart in my throat.
Are you a Scot struggling with £6,000 or more in unsecured debt? You might just qualify for a trust aid, which can help you reduce pay.
Craig documents his solo camping experiences in remote forests. What began as a calm and quiet night of camping alone in the woods slowly turned into something that felt straight out of a horror movie. The sun was still up when he arrived at his camping spot and began setting up his sleeping area. But as night fell and he started preparing his meal, he was completely unaware that something was watching from the darkness all along.
Hello? Anyone there? Someone there? It's really weird.
Cooked his food in the middle of the darkness, a sudden sound echoed around the campsite. It sounded like something striking a stump or the ground nearby, but he could not identify what it was. Unsure of what he had heard, he chose to brush it off and continue eating. But the disturbance did not end there.
Who's there? Hello? Someone there? Okay. That's not too bad.
Another sound followed, this time resembling a stone being dropped somewhere in the darkness. Once again, he tried to ignore it and settle down for the night. Even so, an uneasy feeling lingered. Moments later, another thump confirmed that something was still nearby. This time, he decided to investigate.
You are such a... What the... Stop it. Oh, shit.
Running for his life, he managed to reach his car and get inside. But the danger was far from over. The person stood directly in front of the vehicle, blocking his escape. No one knows what happened next. This man documents his daily life on the road as a solo truck driver. Most of his videos are fun, relaxing, and sometimes adventurous. However, on this day, fate had other plans. He begins winding down for the night, tidying up the inside of his truck before going to sleep. After setting up his bed, he positions his phone to watch a movie while finishing his meal. It seemed like a peaceful, routine night, but things would soon take a turn he didn't see coming.
Hi, guys. I am so tired.
अगर यहाँ के लोगों को दोबारा मौका मिलेगा हिंदुस्तान में बसने का तो आज ही कटोरा लेकर घूमोगे एक बीवी मिलेगी
What? What is this?
While eating, he is suddenly startled by a loud banging sound coming from outside the truck. It sounds deliberate, as if something is striking the vehicle. He grabs his flashlight and tries to peer through the windows to see what caused it. Unable to see anything from inside, he decides to step outside and check for himself.
Where is lan?
After searching outside and finding nothing, he returns to his truck. Whatever was out there never revealed itself. But one thing is certain. Something was there. Something unseen. Something unexplained. And it wanted him to know that he was not alone. This man shares outdoor gardening content on his YouTube channel. Most of his videos are fun and educational. But this time, what begins as a normal video soon takes an unexpected turn.
Well, there's certainly no shortage of the pheasant-back mushrooms out here. You can see here's one, and then one over here. They look really nice. And then just looking around here in the distance, that tree has a bunch, and then this log over here has a bunch. Take a walk over there. These look pretty big. Yeah, this, look how big that one is down there. It's got to be about 12 inches across. And this one looks like it has a bite out of it. And this one.
As he examines the mushroom, a sudden, loud noise echoes through the woods. It is a prolonged scream, sounding like something in extreme distress. The cry is chilling, raw, and impossible to ignore as it echoes through the forest.
And there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh? I think it's time to go.
Concerned for his safety, he decides to leave the area before the situation escalates. He has no idea what caused the sound or what is lurking nearby. Whether it was an animal or something else entirely remains unknown. The sound alone was enough to leave a lasting impression, one that would linger long after he left the woods. English Woodman is a YouTube channel known for documenting stealth camping trips and quiet nights spent deep in the woods. On this particular day, he sets out for what seems like a routine adventure at first. However, it soon becomes clear that he might not be alone on this trip. He carefully sets up his tent, prepares his food, and settles in for the night. As evening approaches, the surroundings remain calm and peaceful, but that peace doesn't last long as the night closes in.
So 3 days ago I went shopping to a very popular food shop called Farm Foods, and just walking around the supermarket, and I noticed they had a tent for sale. A tent in one of the most popular UK food shops for frozen food. They were selling a tent, a pop-up tent, plus a sleeping bag. Very, very cheap.
Right, I've been laying here for a good hour and a half. And I think I'm going to have to open the tent door and make my presence aware, because it sounds like all them kids are in the woodland just down from here. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that. I don't know if he's just trying to be a silly bugger about it, but you know, it's just the way it is, isn't it? But I'm not enjoying it, and I think it's rude. I just have to wait, won't I? Told you. It's like they're looking for someone. Oh, get down a bit. That must be someone.
It appears to be an animal of some kind.
January 18th, 2024, Ian was heading out.
It began on an ordinary afternoon in downtown Salt Lake City.
Deaf hiker falls 700 feet down mountain, but when rescuers finally find her, she isn't alone. When 21-year-old Amelia Milling. Deaf hiker falls 700 feet down mountain, but when rescuers finally find her, she isn't alone. When 21-year-old Amelia Milling set out on the Crow Pass Trail in Chugach State Park, she had no idea she was about to face one of the most challenging experiences of her life. Located 30 miles outside of Anchorage, Alaska, the park's trails are known for their difficulty. One of her hiking poles broke, causing her to lose her balance and fall 300 feet down a snow-covered mountain. Miraculously, she survived. As she lay in pain, an animal appeared, which Amelia initially thought was a white wolf. However, it turned out to be a trail dog named Nanook. Nanook stayed with Amelia through the night as they set up camp. The next day, they began their trek back to safety. It turned out Nanook had previously saved a 6
Katie Romes, a woman hiking alone in the woods, spent her day bathing in the beautiful lakes she discovered on her way to camp. But her peaceful journey took a dark turn when she suddenly noticed a group of men nearby, partying loudly, yet staring directly at her.
They are staying over there, probably about 50 meters away from me.
And just when Krista thought they might be friendly, the men began to approach her. Panicked, she tried to escape. Katie.
This is really scary. This is really.
My name is Hannah.
There's something in it.
A teenage.
Me and one of my good friends, I'll call him Jesse, would go on camping.
All spinners will be winners. Guaranteed wins this Friday at Sky Vegas.
At Juniper, we believe in science-backed weight loss, not wishful thinking. Juniper's medicated weight.
In today's video, we're exploring the chilling tales of 5 campers who vanished without a trace. These eerie disappearances will leave you questioning what lies beyond the flickering campfire light. So grab your flashlight and join us as we uncover the secrets hidden within the wilderness. Let's dive into the unknown together. Laura Vogel, an experienced camper and outdoor enthusiast, vanished without a trace on February 21, 2010, while camping alone in the Pauwela area outside of Maui. Laura, who had recently moved to Maui and was known for her love of surfing and hiking, had planned to spend the night under the stars near the Pauwela Point Lighthouse. On the day of her disappearance, Laura had visited a friend and mentioned her plan to camp out for the night. She was last seen wearing a blue shirt and gray sweatpants. When Laura failed to show up for work the next morning, her family grew concerned and contacted the Maui Police Department. Despite their efforts, the police advised them to wait 24 hours before filing a missing person report. Determined to find her, Laura's friends began searching the area themselves. Their search led them to Laura's van, abandoned in a grassy area off the main road. The van's passenger side door was open, and her keys were left in the ignition. However, her cell phone was missing from the car, although her laptop was found on the back seat. The van was parked near a transient camp where homeless people lived out of their cars. Maui police immediately launched an investigation into Laura's disappearance. They searched the area extensively but found no sign of her. They also interviewed everyone in the vicinity, but no one recalled seeing Laura that night. 2 days after the van was found, A search turned up Laura's cell phone nearby, broken into pieces. The phone records showed that after Laura sent a text message to her friend about her camping location, her phone made several calls to a number she had never contacted before. This number belonged to a homeless transient man who lived in the area. Despite his denial of involvement and inconclusive polygraph results, authorities considered him a person of interest in the case. Laura's family and friends were puzzled by her disappearance. They described her as a responsible and experienced hiker who would not take unnecessary risks, especially in flip-flops. They were also concerned about the transient camp near where her van was found, noting the area's reputation for drugs and crime. In the weeks following her disappearance, Laura's family continued to search for answers. They hired private search teams and worked with the police to gather any information that could lead to her whereabouts. Despite their efforts, Laura's case remained unsolved. Over time, two theories emerged regarding what happened to Laura. The first theory suggested that Laura had accidentally fallen off one of the cliffs in the area while hiking. The rugged terrain and her choice of footwear could have contributed to such an accident. However, her family believed this theory was unlikely, given Laura's experience and cautious nature. The second theory, which Laura's family found more plausible, was that she had met with foul play. They believed that the phone calls made from her phone after her disappearance, along with the suspicious circumstances surrounding her van, pointed to this conclusion. They also questioned the thoroughness of the police investigation, particularly regarding the transient man and the transient camp near where Laura's van was found. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, Laura's family remained hopeful that one day they would find answers. They continued to raise awareness about her case, hoping that someone with information would come forward. For them, the search for Laura was far from over, and they were determined to find out the truth about what happened to her. Christina Kaleka, a 20-year-old young woman full of life and dreams, set out on a camping trip with her